Hi viewers, welcome to our channel. Today we are here to discuss about how AI is impacting the trends. In my previous video, I already covered how AI is evolved. So to do a deep dive on today's topic, I would like to follow a kind of a discussion or a kind of an interview. So for that, I have a guest today who is having 25 plus years of experience in the IT industry and has a footprint in multiple domains, and he has already worked on many roles, right? And the guest has worked on different kinds of domains like HR, who has a 25 plus years of experience and worked on multiple domains like HR, banking, finance, retail, sales, etc. And who has worked as a project manager, program manager, and a director, and now currently in the service of as a CVO, the Chief Visibility Officer, Mr. Venkatesh Balasubramanian from Completed Connections. The headquarters of the Completed Connections is in Tamil Nadu, Chennai, and I take the privilege to interview Mr. Venkatesh Balasubramanian. Hi, sir. Hi, Venkatesh. And firstly, Venkatesh, thanks for your time and thanks for your appointment. Being a hectic schedule, you gave me an appointment, and thanks for your time. I would like to take your chance to address few questions where my team has worked across the social media platforms and collected few of the questions from the audience. So due to time complexity, I have shortlisted a few questions, best questions on that. So I will be asking those questions as a questionnaire format. We will be discussing in a few concepts which how AI is emerging, impacting the. So going to the question, firstly, I have a quick poll and quick survey with a couple of the audience across our social media platforms. So we encourage a few kind of questions from the team. So my team has worked on that. So we want a few questionnaires to ask you. So I just said splendidly. I am feeling I am interviewing one of the candidate who is a CVO. So they said okay, you're going with a good job. So let me see how it goes. So and they asking me a few questions. So I'll be. So you will be interacting on the topic of how AI is impacting the current trends firstly.
Absolutely. Whenever I know about this topic, I'll definitely share it with you. Please shoot your questions. I'll be very interested.
So, how do you feel? So, firstly, how the AI is going to impact the coming future industry, all the industry, like up in the next coming 7 to 10 years? How the AI is going to impact? What do you feel on this?
See, AI is going to impact almost everything. I don't think there is anything that is not going to be touched by AI. So, let's get ready for something very exciting, in terms of what's going to happen, because a lot of things which we believe that was not possible some time back is, it's very easy now using AI, and we are in the very beginning stages of it. The more and more, we accumulate the data, more and more algorithms comes. It's going to be very exciting. In fact, in the last 1 year itself, you've seen make every application very personal for you, and there is no such thing like, if I like something, the AI is going to change the application for my sake, and if you like something based on your preferences, AI is going to change. So it's going to be there's going to be a lot of impact with respect to customization and personalization, and with respect to that, talent. Lot of repetitive works, which needs to be done. For example, in our experience with the bank that we both were associated with, including evaluating minute data and giving them loan, not giving them loan, whether this will be good, bad, ugly, etc. Everything, all this repetitive work is going to be done by AI. In terms of getting things done. And naturally, there's going to be a scare saying that, is it going to impact my job and all those things? And I think every 10 years, we have this question, some new technology can go, oh no, we are going to do jobs and all. That I don't think there is any such concept like that, because, the jobs keep changing. They are not lost. I just want all your audience, just keep this in mind. There may be some roles which were earlier there, which may not be there now, but there are new roles that are getting created. So you have to get ready for all those. If you are not getting ready, and if you are going to say that I'll only do that, I'm sorry, it is going to impact your life big time. That's what I wanted to let you know. And secondly, AI is going to minimize the gap, reduce the gap between a lot of talents. Because today, when I go to an AI tool, generating the code or generating content, is pretty easy. I have access to it. You have access to some access also. Bad access to the tools, which means that you're all going to get the same kind of output. But what's going to differ is how well you use the AI. How well you're going to make use of AI. That is what is going to really create an impact. And I vaguely remember this conversation, I think some 15 years back when I was a developer. Those were the times when code generator became very popular. And you just have to give a business logic to it and it generates code. We've seen SQL generators and all this. Even those times we are saying that, programmers will lose job and all those things. I don't think, anybody has lost their job now. But those smart programmers have used these code generators very well and make sure that's their code base and build their application, etc. And that's how AI is also going to do. Make the best use of AI, because you need to create the differentiator in you. If you're not going to create the differentiator in you, there's not going to be any difference between you and other talents, because all of us have got the same kind of tools and technology that is available to us at disposal and at a very, very low cost. Gone are those days of and all this. Today it's available at $20. $20 is less than 2,000 rupees in India, which we can easily, if anybody can easily afford and get things done. So that is where this very, very critical.
Yeah, good sir. Thank you. And also, sir, when you say, and I came across your profile, you have something like 25 years of experience in the industry now. So, and you work on different kind of domains like healthcare, banking, finance, HR, everywhere you have a good step. So, how do you feel after working across multiple business platforms? Do you see any key differences between each domain, particularly if I say healthcare or banking? Do you see any key differences you came across? And do you see this particular solution will solve the major critical issue in this domain?
Yeah, see, in fact, rather than differences, I find a lot of similarity between healthcare and banking. For example, data privacy is extremely important when it comes to healthcare. And so is banking, because of the financial data, so on and so forth. And secondly, compliances. Both healthcare and banking have got a lot to do with compliance. You take healthcare, it's going to be HIPAA, so on and so forth. Whereas here it's all the banking compliances, SAMA, etc., etc. So the compliances are extremely important. But one finer thing is, in terms of interoperability. Healthcare. Your application need to have a lot of interoperability, whereas banking, it's not experience that I've had. For example, in healthcare, it's just not the patient data. You need to take data from the various diagnostic systems, so on and so forth, and then probably use AI to even come up with prognosis or even treatment, so on and so forth. So that interoperability, that probably is the only difference. Whereas here, so we not treat them as that. Whereas in banking, it's personalization that's extremely important, because my banking or my CIBIL rating, etc., my wants, my needs, everything changes, and based on that, you need to provide the services. And I think that is where primarily is the difference between healthcare and banking. I've also worked in retail. Retail is extremely personalized, and today retail is getting extremely exciting. In fact, as late as last week, I had a discussion with one of our customers from Germany, and they're coming out with a phenomenal, retail solution, which is going to be very groundbreaking. I don't want to disclose that now because of the non-disclosure and all this thing. And again, it's in a very nascent stages. But the way I look at it, I think it's going to be more exciting in retail space as well. So those are the experiences that I've had. And HR is something that is always very close to my heart, because while everything else can be automated, understanding a human being, I do not know what AI will still do. So that's where a lot of challenges are there. And right from beginning, I've been fascinated meeting a lot of people and understanding their goals, so on and so forth. So that made me move towards HR. So that was the interest. And I also believe that every line manager needs to be a HR. Where a separate HR department can do only certain things, and every line manager is the one who is living day in and day out with all the developers or the team members, etc. And they need to be the HR manager. So I had this belief right from beginning. Just to experience whether my belief is right, I moved into HR for some time, and I'm today very boldly say, while for the compliances and all those things, there needs to be HR department, but when it comes to the employee engagement, it is a line manager who needs to be the HR manager.
Okay, sir. Like you said, actually you are into the HR field. So I have a question like that. So in the HR field, I don't think so. AI will impact more on the HR domain, because HR itself is called as a human relations. Definitely a human has to be there to interact with the human, value human. Nowhere AI will come in place here, I guess, is what my understanding.
No, I there because again, it's going to impact that as well. In fact, already with respect to hiring and all those things, AI has started. People have started using AI in terms of selecting candidates, even in terms of sourcing resumes, so on and so forth. In fact, I do not know how much you looked at the cold mailing, LinkedIn personalization, so on and so forth. They look at the profile, and then they even draft emails based on that. And very recently, I came across an application. It's called Zintla, and this application uses AI very well. So what it does is you have a LinkedIn connection, and you just run this application on one of the LinkedIn profiles. It gives their psychology assessment in terms of what do they like, how should you talk to them, so on and so forth. And I was like very inquisitive, saying, how can this work like this? And I ran this application on a profile whom I've known for around 20 years. And this person started as a fresher in my team. And I know this person for the last 20 years. I ran the psychology assessment. And the AI gave me an insight which I had developed based on, I've been seeing that person, I've been interacting with that person exactly the same. And so that's going to impact big time. There is no such thing. And very incidentally, I saw, this implementation, I think fairly 5 years back itself, and it was in a very early stages. It's a very sticky topic, but I would want to talk about that as well. Feel free to edit it if you don't want to. See, coming to POSH, prevention of sexual harassment in workplaces, which is a very important topic now. Whenever there's a complaint that is raised, or there are many complaints that are not getting raised because people are scared whether the action will be taken, so on and so forth. And there was AI implementation in one of the companies, and incidentally, even at Vara, we did pilot that particular thing, because whenever the complaint comes, your human biases will first come into saying this person would have done, this person would not have done, and all those things. You're not supposed to take any sides. You have to take it without any biases. And that is where, something like AI would help in making the person comfortable in raising such complaints, so on and so forth. So HR is not, there is no field that will not be impacted by AI. And definitely HR is also an area where AI is going to do some amazing stuff. It's going to make our life very, very easy.
Yeah, and pretty like, sir, when you said just now, you said like there is a psychology analysis for your implementation. So any kind of security challenges we came across when we were doing this for the other public profile, when we are handling the AI? Is there any kind of security challenges we came across?
No, accordingly, see, it's very simple. You are going to make an assessment based on publicly available information.
Correct.
So we are not going to take any personal data from anywhere. Okay. So if, for example, we analyze, see, you and I can do it. If you go to somebody's Facebook or LinkedIn post, you look at their 50, 100 posts which they have done in the last 5 years. You can come to a conclusion saying that, this person likes, this person does not like this, he wants to work here, he's got knowledge about all this, which is what AI is going to do in a very, very simple way. What will take some few hours for you to do an assessment, AI is going to do it in few minutes. And see, making your assessment is not going to, I would rather say, it's probably a routine job. But what you are going to do with assessment is what is important. Are you going to hire? Are you going to, solicit business from this person, so on and so forth? And that is where I think you will spend a lot of time, which is what is extremely critical, rather than analyzing this person, so on and so forth. And even while analyzing, there are a lot of your biases that will get into it, right? Because of the way that you're grown and so on and so forth. So you need assessments. There are absolutely no security.
Okay, and so you came across. So I'm not touching on the big point. Okay, I'm saying that when we come up with one organization specific, it is a private organization, but the entire system is private. So in that case, there is a research post activity which AI can actively work on, which will be coming into the HR streams very sooner. So in that case, if he or she is there who has some that kind of complaint which is going to raise, okay, how we can do that? If it goes to the right candidate, it impacts the right candidate, or it won't have any kind of security challenges, it will go out. It will out of the organization. How can we deal with such kind of questionnaires?
I think comes to the public domain. The same will hold good for it. Your data is your data. You can either do AI using your private data, or you can use a data that is available in the public domain. So that isn't a problem. You need to talk to somebody to even find out, whether, I'm going back to the old example of posh. Many times they do not know whether it is really posh or not.
Correct.
Right? So you want to talk to somebody, but you're scared to talk to somebody. There you can probably talk to a chatbot and say, hey, this happened to me. Should I complain or not? And then, it will tell you saying that, hey, you know what? This is not something that you should complain. This is something that you should complain immediately. Or probably even raise an anonymous complaint or so on and so forth. So at least notify the people in case they don't want the identity to know. So everything is possible.
We may put some confidentiality, like we can use some confidential information, like disclose their names or details or fix what it may be. And then Okay. And so, Venkatesh, when I ask you, I heard in our statistics of the employment of the companies during the pandemic, what was happened in the last 2 years back of COVID. A lot of companies hired a lot of people for the work.
Yes.
Okay, lot of people was hired, and after the pandemic, when the return to office open, people just started off hiring with the AI. Is what I came across from the statistics. So how can we say this is also one of the factors that gonna impact with the
AI? Okay. See, it's very. I do not know. Where you saw the statistics, because let me take my company. We're a very small company. During COVID, we had a lot of vacancies, and after COVID, we still have vacancies. I don't think we have let go of anyone. Neither the companies that I know of. See, there is something else that is happening. Interestingly, yesterday I read a report from one of the very leading technical organization, and this report said India is in a verge of booming, and there are going to be a lot of GCCs that are going to come, global centers that are going to come up within India. A lot of global captive centers are going to come up in India. It's very exciting to see that a lot of things are coming because of various things. The economy being stable, talent being available, so on and so forth. And I was like very appreciative of this particular message. And incidentally, there was one other person, who's in the financial industry, quite a knowledgeable person, who had commented saying that the GCCs are not coming up because of these reasons. That's also one of the reasons, but it is more because the large IT organizations are not able to add value.
Correct.
They are really not being able to add value, and that is why they are not trusting these services companies, because they are not increasing the value chain, and that is why they are setting up their shop themselves so that they can take care of their own thing, which is fairly alarming. So which means that going back to our first question in terms of are we getting prepared for the AI be coming in? Are we upskilling ourselves enough so that we are satisfying our customer? If our customer is not satisfied, there is no business. If there is no business, there are not going to be any jobs. And even GCCs will recruit, because they are setting up shop here, they will recruit, and they are going to see who have upskilled themselves and who are doing better than just be order takers. See, for a long time, I mean, at least our industry has been order takers. We do what our client wants us to ask. We've been very good with respect to services. Unfortunately, not many products have come up in India. Which is not the case now. Because we have companies like Zoho and so many other product companies that has come up. Incidentally, today I saw a new transport mobility company, Yari, which was launched in Hyderabad. It's a cab hailing app, which is using government's ONDC. It's going to be another revolution like how UPI became. And if you are not innovative enough, or if you do not know the trends of using these kind of tools and technologies, you don't need AI to fire you. See, ultimately, let's all remember, we need horses for the courses. No company is just going to hire you and say, "Oh, you joined me 10 years back. I'll keep feeding you till you die." It's not going to happen that way.
Yeah, sure.
So, we also, as an employee, we've also been like that. When there is an opportunity, we work for one company to another. We went and asked for so on and so forth. And when we are happy with that, let's welcome. I wouldn't say welcome. Let's accept this also. And I'm sorry. I just wanted to quote a very small story here. This happened when I was at Mindtree. I was working at Mindtree as a program manager, and in one of the projects, during the earlier recession, I think 2007 or something. So we were discussing about what we do in case we were given the pink slip. So people were talking about various things. Somebody said, "I will drive Uber, a cab." Somebody said, "I'll set up biryani shop," so on and so forth. And then there was one fresher, who did not comment anything. And after all the conversation is over, I thought he's an introvert. He did not speak in a group. And I just asked him, I said, don't you have any views on this? He said, Venki, I'm surprised that you are worried about getting the pink slip. I said, why should I not be worried? I can also get fired. So another thing, he's just starting his career. This fellow asked me, saying that whatever recession may come, will the companies close down?
Great. Nice. The guy is a very excellent networker. I also have a scene like this scenario. One of my colleagues I have, who is something like of own age, and he's also holding up similar kind of work experience of 25 plus years. So he used to go to a couple of colleges, couple of universities, deemed universities, and he tries to motivate in the seminars like why you are not opting for the IT industry? Why you are opting for the EC industry? Any challenges? If you wish to opt for any kind of such group, it's okay. It's up to you. But if you are opting easy and again coming and jumping back to IT, there are only some other places after the entire phase of graduation, it's not the right place, right? When you start the foundation in the right path, it goes into the appropriate pathway.
True.
So now actually all the state politics, politics in the sense all the state boards and the AICT boards of education has started artificial intelligence, machine learning, DevOps concepts, programming concepts, they include in the curriculum.
Yes.
Now, so people are so educated and they are highly blessed to learn in the graduation time. They need to put one more effort again after coming out of the organization.
Yes, you said it right. Yeah.
But still, people are somewhere, there are like people are behaving like introverts and they are unable to understand how the industry is going to be upgraded in a vast manner.
Okay, see, I see two things that you're saying. One about the other gentleman going to various colleges and motivating people. I have a slightly different view on that. I would not blame the students. Rather, I would not blame. This is not the result of the students opting for IT. It is about the IT companies. The IT companies never said, I only take computer science graduates, right?
Yeah.
Being a coder in my team. I've seen a metallurgy engineer doing coding. Even, in fact, in my team today, I have a marine engineer who is doing coding. So, yeah, so who are you, who do you want to blame? Do you want to blame the, bulk hirers, going to various universities and saying that, I'll take you, irrespective of the branch and all this thing, or the people who say, okay, see, ultimately everybody is paying hefty fees, with education loan and all those things. Let's give it to them. The first and foremost thing that is there on their mind is, okay, I made my parents spend. I would rather say the students are very responsible. In fact, I feel that the students today are more responsible than my age. In fact, when I grew up, after graduating, it's okay for me to be without a job for some 2-3 years, blaming the government, blaming the system, so on and so forth. Today, the students are so responsible. While if they're in UG, while in the 6th semester, they prepare themselves for a campus interview, they're getting placed and coming out. If it's PG, they are making sure that they are getting placed, so on and so forth. Because one, it's not that they want to earn and buy palatial house or car and all those things. They want to take the parents' responsibility. They feel that they're spent. They want them to take the burden of their parents. So I think. I do not know what others feel, but at least I feel that the current current generation is a lot more responsible than the generation that I grew up. If things are done properly, I would encourage moonlighting. You tell me saying that, hey, you know what, I'm working here. I have told them also that I'm going to work elsewhere and I can only spend 2 hours, so on and so forth. But, without giving the disclosure to the existing, both organization doing that is not ethical.
That's a correct. Yeah, that's a correct. That's unethical. That's unethical point.
That's all. So in my organization, I'm okay if you come and tell me saying that, hey, you know what, it's a very interesting project, I want to be part of it. But till you don't mess up my project, I'm happy. You getting experience. Ultimately, that experience is going to help my company as well.
Yes. Yeah.
But mine is a very small organization. So I do not know. In a large organization, they can't do that because
it's not like the type of organization. I feel it's not like the type of organization. So I feel like it is a talent inside the people who are inside the organization and handle the thing.
Absolutely.
Then the group of people is called as the organization only, obviously.
Exactly. But no unethical practices.
No unethical practices. Yeah. We should not agree with it.
Absolutely. If the organization accepts, go ahead. If it is not, okay, have the courage to quit and go.
Okay. So, in the point of this, in the point of this HR domain, do you see any best practices at the employee? How can we retain a best performer? Any best practices we came across?
See, I think we started this topic in my previous question itself, saying that every line manager has to be the HR manager. See, I would rather equate, a line manager to a parent. How well you take care of your children, you take care of your team members like that also. See, there are certain small practices that has helped me retain my talents. I don't believe in this, high performers,
Managers.
because everybody is a good performer. If you give them the right environment, they will give the best. If the environment is, if they're a high performer, all through 20 years, they have to get a rating of, 5 star, right? Why suddenly, 1 year they get 3, next year 5+ and all this. And there are people who have just got, 0 or 1, and suddenly some 2-3 years they get 5. So the ecosystem plays, the environment plays a big role in ensuring that you get the best out of the team members. So I don't want to talk about high performer, but then I want to, as a talent, you need to retain people. If you need to retain people, see, one thing that all the company does is telling them what is expected out of them. But you also have to understand what is expected, what is the employee expected out of the organization.
Yes, both the two-way traffic to be handled.
Exactly, because I've seen project managers say, when onboarding, you call the new team member and say, okay, you have to do this, development, this. But I have hardly seen any manager asking, hey, what? Okay, what is your career goal? What do you want to do? So on and so forth. The moment you ask that question, it's going to be, he's going to be really, really happy. I will quote one incident that happened in my life, which from where I really learned how to retain people. You need to be interesting. One of the Mindtree founders, Mr. Subrata Bachi, in one of his talks, he said that manager has to be very interesting. That's when, they will come and talk to you, they will come and have a discussion with you. The moment you come and have a discussion, then a lot of things will fall in place. And that's why I equate it to parenting. Even as a parent, you need to be interesting to your kids. If not, they're not going to come and talk to you. If you're just going to tell them, study, do this, do that, and all those things. But then, what are you adding value? The same thing holds good here as well. So, while I was a developer, I used to follow this English Premier League football. And there was a very important match, I think around 11 o'clock or so in the night. But then there was one very important critical release that happened. That has to happen. So my manager said, please do this. And I was very sure that's going to take the entire night. I was like cribbing, saying that, this man does not even know what is important to me. It's just that day, why can't we do it tomorrow, so on and so forth. But then I had to do my work. I kept on doing my work. And it was those days, right? So not, these kind of art star and all those things were really not there. And you won't believe, at 10:45, the manager of mine called me and said, Venki, I know that you are a Liverpool supporter. I support the Liverpool soccer club. So we are a Liverpool supporter and there's an important match today. And, I paid for you to watch this online match. I know you're working in office. You could also watch this. Well, and I was like thrilled. I said, man, he knows what is important to me. And that is why, I coined this thing called 3 A's. First, acknowledge the presence of this team member. Accept a new person in your team and acknowledge, saying that, hey, you know what, this person is this, he or she likes this, does not like this, she or she is good in this, so on and so forth. Acknowledgement is very important, because many times you see a new team member comes, the old ones will go for lunch together, and this will be left, and they will try to find who all got on board on the same day, and they'll work together, etc. You got to acknowledge there is a person, new person within the team. Second is pay attention. When I say pay attention, pay attention to all their likes, dislikes, wants, their goals, so on and so forth. And the last but not the least is appreciate.
So when it is a small like also.
Anything, and when I say appreciate, does not mean that you have to give them some 10,000 rupees or give them pay attention to that team member, and then appreciate the team member. But if you follow this, believe me, 9 out of 10 people will love you. Forget about giving.
Okay. So this is where actually companies and organizations always turns to the HR of the organizations, gives some team-bound activities, or they will also create some like one-on-one sessions with the manager, not only on the professional part, they also interact with the personal part.
That's right.
So there is I have a question right now. There is a person, XYZ person, who came as a fresher in a bulk hiring to an organization. A manager who is reporting to him, to him he is reporting, has some bandwidth where he has already 15 of associates under him. So there are some kind of experience. Only this is the result about it. So now how the team bonding activities has to be interact with the freshie. We can work up with the team very fastly. How can you say that, like how the team has to interact with the freshie?
Again, I have to quote, my Mindtree experience here. Again, Mr. Bachi, who's been a phenomenal, people manager in the way he understands people, etc. See, many people think that whenever you join a new organization, you're always in a very happy mood because more salary, bigger challenge, big company, so on and so forth. But then, what you don't understand is, whenever you join a new team, there's a lot of insecurity that gets in you. Because you have uprooted yourself from a team where you built a relationship, so on and so forth. And you've been serving notice period for 2 months. There have been so many people who have been telling you, saying that, oh, don't join that company, you will leave growth here, it's not a good decision, so on and so forth. You told all these people saying that I'm taking a great decision. I want to go and tell the world saying that, hey, this is an amazing team, and I'm part of this team, etc. So as a line manager, you need to create that opportunity for that person.
Obviously, yeah.
So treat everybody as a human being, and don't differentiate between a fresher and experience, so on and so forth. As a human being, there is a basic need that is there for everybody. If you probably take care of that, I think you won't have to really. Yeah, and then team building activity is just a one-off activity. You don't really need a team building activity. Yes, I'm a firm believer of doing a team building activity. But having said that, you may not wait for an activity to happen. Every day can be a team building activity. I quoted the soccer example. You just have to know people in your team. Imagine there is a Formula One enthusiast in your team. And this morning in newspaper, you see that, yesterday Belgian GP happened, and, McLaren won the first prize, etc. And you see that, in one of the cabins, one of the bays, there is this boy in your team who's kept McLaren pictures, on and so forth. And you just go next morning and say, hey, you know what did the Belgian Grand Prix happen yesterday? Believe me, this person will talk to you for 30 minutes.
Okay.
You don't have to know F1 at all. And so, but patiently listen to them. And the kind of bonding that happens, because you're observing everything, you're seeing what is there in the bay. So that is what you need to do as a line manager. You need to understand your people. That is what I told earlier. Acknowledge what is, a presence of the team member, and pay attention to what are their needs and what are their wants. The moment you talk off-topic things, see, one thing line managers have to remember, or managers have to remember, is your success depends on each and every individual in the team.
Based on his workload, approximately 40 hours in a week, he is having more than that. Okay, so he is unable to handle it. He is put in the company on more organization very frequently. So everywhere you go, he doesn't give a question. He feels like again it is a workaholic, a work pressure, and he quit again in one very short span. I mean, like at least within the probation itself, they must keep also sometimes. It is immediately after 1 year. But how organizations have to handle this kind of jumpings from the employees?
Okay, so it's very simple. I am again, let me quote something that happened in one of my teams. Okay, this was a very critical project for my company, and we had to deliver a 3% years of project within 3 months.
Oh.
And it's extremely critical. And this project cannot even get delayed by 1 day. It's extremely critical. And the customer is very important to this company, the earlier company that I used to work for. And you wouldn't believe, a 45-member team did not go home for 3 months.
Oh.
3 months, none of the team members went home. Developers used to finish coding, and the testers will be sleeping. They'll wake up the testers and then say, hey, please test. And while testers are testing, developers will sleep, and that's it. And you won't believe. And these kind of things happen because sometimes when you are part of the team, as a manager, you need to lead from the front. You go at 6 o'clock and tell them that you need to finish all these. People are going to feel the pressure.
Correct.
Okay, and you need to lead from the front. You need to understand what is it that is necessary for them, and you need to appreciate them right away. And again, I will quote an example. From my past experience. There was this one developer who was extremely critical in one of the product, and this person was working very hard for nearly 1 month because the product has to get launched on a particular day. Okay, and nobody cared about whether he had food, this, that, and all those things. But this fellow was this coder was doing everything, because he loved the product so much. Okay, and on the day of the launch, everybody appreciated, saying it's because of this person's hard work, so on and so forth. And you won't believe, within 2 weeks, this person was given the Best Employee of the Year award for whatever he had done in the last 20 days or whatsoever it may be, because it was an extremely critical product for the company. And you know what this developer did? The very next day he came and resigned. Okay, very next day he came and resigned, and he said, yes, I'm happy with these awards and all those things, but when I was working for the 1 month, nobody even cared about, did I have food, or what is it that I want, whether I slept or not. But then the management said, we know you were working very hard, we were waiting for the right opportunity to appreciate you. But that was already too late. You've given the best possible award to him, but he wasn't happy. That's extremely important. You lead from the front. And when you do that, see, yes, it is a pressure, but then you handle that pressure. You help them handle that pressure because, as a manager, you see a lot more right than them. They will be with you. If you allow them to wage the battle on their own, they would like to give up. And that is what I believe has happened to this individual. This is from an organization standpoint. But there are few candidates who want a good 9 to 6 job. They don't want to apply themselves beyond that. See, IT industry, we know what is the pressure, etc. You want a fat salary, whatever that you get out of IT industry, but you do not want the pressure, then this industry is not right for you.
Correct.
So you can't solve all problems, okay? But there are certain outliers who will feel unhappy with anything and everything that you give. But then having understood this person well, Have you understood what he wants, what she wants, etc.? If you have done that, I think beyond certain point, it is not under your control. And I was quoting about this 3 months project. Right? There was one person in that team who was who was disengaged. He was like, it's very, he was feeling very tired, so on and so forth. So one day, we had a conversation with him saying, what is your problem? He said, Venki, I'm not enjoying coding. So we thought that, he's giving excuse because he does not want to work under pressure. So I asked him, where do you like? He said, I like doing UI and UX. So what we did is, in the same project, because we were doing coding, we were not bothered about cosmetics and all this. And he said, hey, you know what? All the coders will do coding, you do the cosmetics. And this particular thing changed the entire thing. He was wowed because he loved doing cosmetic changes because he really liked UI UX than coding.
Yeah.
But he ended up being the best performer in the team. So it's two ways. So one, you also come and tell saying that what, but then because they're young people, freshers, they're intimidated by senior people. So the managers need to go and ask, hey, what do you want to do? I started with that, right? The moment you know what is the need of this particular person, I'm sure that nobody is going to leave the team.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'm just moving out of the industry. So I'm moving out of the IT industry, moving out of any other industry we can take. So where this AI is also impacting any other kind of industry. Like if I say, we have already bots, we have already chat GPTs and all our stuff in the markets. So especially in the YouTube or some editing platforms or 3D photography platforms, we have the AIs who can generalize the backgrounds, who can generalize the vocal, who can generalize the voice, who can generalize the robotics. There are many skills we have even in the AI. So how do you say like this cannot be a scam with the AI? So on all the streams there will not be any scams or frauds and the security misplaces.
No, I don't think I ever said that there won't be any scam. The scam, see, greed is there in people. Scams will continue to happen, and most of us are born with greed, or almost everybody is born with greed. Some, probably don't allow that to overwhelm them, and some allow them to do that. Everybody has got a reason to do something. But then contentment in life is what is extremely important. If you don't do that, scams will happen. There are technology will be used, misused, etc. You now see how many scams is happening using UPI and all those things. Very a lot of people are just with as though they are calling from customer service. There are so many scams that are happening, which are unaware of. Every day we are seeing new things. So smart, greedy people exist.
So there will be scams.
There will be scams. And one thing is AI will try to stop many of these scams.
Okay.
Because of the pattern, so on and so forth. They'll start finding the pattern. At least they'll want. I believe there is some research that's happening on climate modeling, saying that based on the climate, the environment sustainability reports, everything will happen, so on, which is going to be really exciting. So there's so much research that is happening. So with respect, while this is also growing, that also will keep growing. I would say there won't be any, but then you need to be extremely smart to even be there. At least the general scamsters will get caught easily. That's what I would rather want to say.
Okay. So actually, when we say like our Facebook, we have Facebook, Mark James Ben. So he himself said like I cannot control the data inside the Facebook. I mean like whoever it is open forum. Whoever wants to check who's other one, they can easily go and check. So now the AI people who has came across, they are using some kind of algorithms in the background with the help of the chat GPTs. They're finding some algorithms. They're even cracking the AI too. Yes, they are cracking and they're going to the Facebook and from my Facebook, we will get a message that stating savings of 500 rupees. It's going like, why Krishna will ask me just 500 rupees? He don't 500 rupees in the kind of hallucination will go.
See, that is human tendency, right? You will think about finance. If they ask you 50,000, then you think, oh, will I get this 50,000 back or so? 500 is easy. Yeah, and particularly UPI, you just okay, give it, and then are saying that. See, most of the time you won't ever ask. Imagine that I'm in an urgency and ask you 500 rupees. You wouldn't. And that I don't think you need AI for that. Okay. And see, with respect to data privacy, I believe it will be we will be talking for it forever. How much ever I mean, in fact, I remember the age old days when we used to have this novel netware and all those things, But the system administrator will have access to everything.
Yeah, obviously. Correct.
Right? How will you mask that? So it's always like that. You can correlate it to a lot of examples until you can put a lot of checks and balances in place. Only thing that probably you can find out is who has breached it. But it's a human tendency which you can't do anything if they want to breach it.
Okay.
So there's a price for everything, That's what I said. It again goes back to greed. So, if so this data privacy is something that we'll be talking forever. So, but you can't be without that, right? Today you're getting so many calls. You go to a supermarket, they want your phone number, and and the moment you give that phone number, you do not know where all it's going, and you get some other calls for loan, credit card, so on and so forth. Some holiday package, this, that, and all those things. From police station, this, that, and all. When there are certain words which will immediately make us panic.
Exactly. So now almost all major companies are opted for different kind of latest technologies like ChatGPT, cloud, what kind of other infrastructure in the case of development technologies all organizations are using. So now in India, not only in India, across all the world. Okay. So personally, I will talk about India. So as per you, when AI will be the major implementer in the India organizations, how we can see in India in the coming next 7 to 10 years of time span, how the India will be, how the economy, global economy will impact.
Okay, I think I do not know how much I'm qualified to talk about this, but I very recently read, I forgot who had said this, the kind of development that has happened in the last 100 years, the pace at which the development happened in the last 100 years, you will see the same pace of development that is happening in the next 10 years. So get ready for this, roller coaster ride. If that's what I would rather say. And today, India is one of the, probably the stablest economy. There are a lot of problems that are happening else. I mean, in a lot of all parts of the world, at least India has got a very stable economy. And in fact, today I was just read an article where I believe nearly 60 to 70% of NRIs want to come back to India, after they retire, because they believe that the economy is stable and they will have a very safe life in India. Okay.
Comparatively, India is paying more than the current position.
Yeah, I mean, see, more than pay and all those things, at least you need to be, the stable economy is extremely important, right? So, see, that's a very recent survey, and incidentally, I went through that survey. And it says that around 80% from Singapore, Indians who are in Singapore want to come back to India after their, they get retired from work. 80%.
Wow.
Around 70 to 80% from US. Around 70% from UK. I think around 60% from Canada and Australia. That's a great number, and it tells a lot about how well India is progressing.
Okay.
So
it's a pretty sure thing. Like definitely we are going to break a big volcanic eruption kind of technology outbreak. It will be AI will be.
You see, not only AI, everywhere, and AI is going to play a big part, in terms of robotics and all those things. See, I do not know if you belong to this generation where whenever ISRO sends a rocket, we will only say, oh, it will anyway fall in the sea. Right? Yeah, when I grow up, it's always like, oh, PSLV 3, okay, it's going to fall in the, it'll go to a height and then fall in the sea. That's how I've grown. Today, I'm very proud. We've landed on moon. We are sending one after the other. We are now talking about sun, so on and so forth. We've reached there.
Yes.
There were times that we were buying a lot of defense equipments from other countries, etc. Today, we are having indigenously developed the defense equipment, so on and so forth. So everywhere, I think we are making good progress. People have started believing in entrepreneurship. We've always been having service mentality because we've been slaves to British. But now, the newer generation wants to explore. They want to be very innovative. They want to do indigenous things. They want to experiment. So that mentality has completely changed. Just to give you probably an example, I always quote this. People keep complaining, saying that Indians, when in India they behave differently, and when they go outside of the country they behave differently. They stand in queue. Here they don't, and all those things. It's definitely not like that. It is the way that we have grown up. My father was one among the 8 or 9 children in the house, and imagine that they generally make some 20 dosas, and each kid gets 2 dosas. If one kid says, I have a stomach upset, the other children are happy because they get 1 dosa extra. Or they may get quarter of a dosa because that has to be shared by the other 7 kids.
Yes.
Right? And that's a mentality that they will grow up with. When I grew up, I had only one sister. So I don't care about how many dosas she's eating, and she wasn't bothered about how many dosas I was eating. I was getting what I want, she was getting what she wants. So I will be slightly more socially responsible because my wants and needs are fulfilled.
Right.
Today, my daughter, she's getting more than what she wants. So she will be more socially responsible.
Yes.
And coming back to the queue example, when you go abroad, if you stand in any queue, you are sure that even if you are in the last, you will still get a seat. Yes?
Yes.
Here we are not sure. And we are, and most of the people will not be breaking the queue for themselves. It could be for their mother, it could be for their father, it could be anything. So it's got nothing to do with, just Indians or foreigners, so on and so forth. It is the environment that we've grown with. Even if you look at the cricket teams, etc., and look at what is happening in their country, it will behave the same way.
Yeah. So actually, like I have one fellow who is currently in a graduation part. Okay. So he asked me one simple question why we can't start an entrepreneurship? Why can't we? Means I said we came across the environments where we are supposed to do our job. They are internally said you can't invest in somewhere and you can earn. You don't have that kind of knowledge. We came across this kind of comfort zone. If you are reached to start an entrepreneur, we are ahead. We have a chances more now in India.
See, I think I have a very strong opinion on this. People who want to give excuse will always find excuse. Exactly. People who want to do, they will not give any excuse. And today, it's the best time for you to be an entrepreneur. There's so much support that is being given by the government. The Startup India. There are so much digital shops that are given.
Yes.
AWS credits are given to startups. Google credits are given. Azure credits are given. There's so much support that is happening. All that you need is an amazing idea and a passion to develop. And
the right way to fulfill that passion.
extremely, because the moment you follow your passion, money automatically follows.
Yes. Yes.
But if you follow money, you will feel unhappy after 15 years.
Sometimes, yeah. We have a quotes also like if the money your ancestors has got much amount of money and it just came to you, it cannot be stabilized still after 10 years. It may become it doesn't give you money.
True.
Yeah. So that's all from me, Venki. Thanks for your moment of time and. Thanks for your valuable time and effort and your words, which will be inspired more. If you have something that you to share, an inspirational words from your side to our viewers, you are free to know.
I think thank you, Spectacular Speeches. It's been amazing talking on this forum. I'm looking forward to listening to a lot of other speakers who will follow suit. And it's a great opportunity. And in fact, I'm happy because it rekindled a lot of memories from my past life, from entire career, what I've done, so on and so forth. It's a motivation for me as well. I just want to leave everybody with one thought. It's just, probably it's a very cliched, this thing. The only thing is, you underestimate yourself. And you believe that you have the potential, you can get anything that you want. Look at all the successful people around you. They have gone from A to Z. But we believe we'll go from A to B, B to C, B to C to D and all those things because we believe that we don't have the potential. Everybody's got the potential. And just think that I want Z, you will get that Z. As simple as that.
Thank you, Venkatesh, and thanks for your words.
Thank you.
Here ends the speech of the Venkatesh Balasubramanian, and thanks for your valuable time and thanks for watching. Please like, share.